Hey friends, it's Michael Golzmane here from clearingconnect.com, and this is the 5th video in my series of global service projects that I'm creating here on YouTube for you to receive benefits from through the clearing work, but for you to also be able to participate in how can I help and support the kind of consciousness that is healing, helpful, that is more spiritual on a global scale, especially during these troubling times. So we're about to do a clearing. And the clearing is going to focus on individual issues to you, but it's also going to focus on the collective versions of that. And we are together going to anchor in that field, going to create that field across YouTube. Whenever we do a clearing like this, we actually are having effects on the collective, whether the collective understands it or not, whether they ever see this video or not. So the more people who can join us, so if you want to share this video with friends, watch it multiple times, you will receive clearing and you will also be engaged in a process of spiritual upliftment for all of humanity. Now, this kind of work is not the only work that we need in humanity, but it is important work. Many people kind of butt heads individually in societies and families, in countries, because people have just different ideas that are often, they're not really understanding or looking at what are the underlying motivations for why I am so strongly in favor of doing things this way. So if we can release and open to this field, some call God or some call spirit, and we can look, kind of expand and go upwards for answers that are more holistic, that actually help to create a world that works for everyone. And then we come back and we put those types of inspirations, we put those types of the connection, the realizations into practice as a society. We can begin to create solutions that really work for us, but also solutions that work for all. So today's clearing is going to be focused on freedom, sovereignty, and integrity of choice. We're focusing here on resolving issues around coercion, control systems, censorship, and individually that may come through as fear of authority, obedience, people-pleasing, control through fear. We're wanting to clear that within ourselves and also within the collective, and to anchor in divine freedom, sovereign consciousness for all beings. I figure this is a pretty easy topic to kind of agree on, that we would all like to have that in some way. So why don't we step back from figuring out us versus them, we have to make it happen this way. And right now, we're going to do a clearing, we're going to expand consciousness, and we're going to help to anchor in the global consciousness of spirit within our own lives. So if you want to join me, just continue watching this video. You can take a few deep breaths if you'd like. We're going to start the clearing now. And you can open your eyes, you can close your eyes, whatever feels best to you. I'm going to begin sort of moving my hands here and tapping into the various clearing systems that I work with. And even if I don't know who you are, it doesn't make any difference. I have found over many decades actually on YouTube here that people get these clearings even if they find them years and years after I've made them. I don't have to know who you are. It's part of the power of spirit. So we're asking in this moment to clear all blocks to this work, to put a shield of protection around me and everyone watching this video, and to prepare our consciousness now. All levels, layers, bodies, and minds of our being, all influences now. We're asking for that initial clearing and opening to take place so that we can begin, we who are agreeing actively and consciously to enter into a clearing space, we're asking to now, we're settling in through this facilitation of energy and karma clearing into a space where the energy is beginning to connect and to expand. I call my website clearandconnect.com for a reason. We're clearing things, and we are never unconnected from our spiritual source, but we can feel like we're not plugged in. And so this work helps us to feel more like, ooh, I just feel at the core of my being, I'm connected, I'm plugged in. I want you to sense right now, whatever you may be sensing, a shift in awareness. The energy field is growing. The clearing itself is taking place in the silence. It's a feeling, a spiritual feeling that you may begin to notice around you, swirling around you. You may begin to notice in different parts of your body, kind of like an uplift. It may feel like tiredness sometimes, warmth, coldness, tingliness. People have different sensations with energy in general, and they may have different sensations over time as you experience this kind of work. So, beautiful. Now, we're making the intention that you and I, as we do this work, we're going to make the intention to send this work actively out into the collective. Remember that in some ways, there is no individual, there's no liberation for only one of us that neglects the rest of us. We need to, it is our concern, we are our brothers and sisters' keepers. It is our concern, without forcing, without effort, without coercion, of course, to hold the space for the upliftment of all of humanity. That's part of our mission. We each do it in our own unique and individual way. We're here to do that. And so we're offering this clearing out into the collective. People will receive it through their higher self without being forced or without it violating their free will. So first, individually here we'd like to clear on issues of subconscious obedience, memories of that in the soul, and also any sense that we must do that. We must follow a particular leader or follow a control system. And we also ask to clear on the issues of people pleasing and appeasement, which can follow with that type of programming. Also, fear of authority. We're asking to clear that within the collective. Ideally, leadership of various kinds are people who have the general welfare of those that they serve as their highest priority. And this oftentimes is not the case in the expression of leadership. And so we're looking to help shift fears within the collective so that there can be and evolve more systems where leadership and where individuals on the planet who are in those systems, politically, religiously, whatever it might be, there's a benevolence, there's a mutual understanding and trust and higher good with integrity, with spiritual integrity involved. Now, on a global level, and as it relates to us, we're asking to help clear here control systems, the memory of them on the planet, the consciousness that has produced them, current systems that are consciously or unconsciously can become oppressive, become control systems, the very foundations of that, the structures that are holding it together. Feel that movement of energy pulsing within you. You may not understand how this applies to you directly, but we're speaking the words into the consciousness. This is the way this kind of clearing work works, is that we can speak. Once we connect and plug in and we open up in this way, we can then speak requests, energetic requests into it, and we can feel responses take place immediately. So control systems, coercion, manipulation, and censorship, we're asking for. Clearing the roots of all of this, clearing the need for this, resolving we, the masses giving away our power, and those few who are wanting control and power over others, willingness, readiness to take it, we're asking to help to resolve and to clear that dynamic. It often takes people who are unconscious, unwilling to stand up, and then that dynamic, that polarization can begin to occur. This can happen on a small scale, it can happen on a larger scale. So we're looking, as we said in the previous video, we're looking for more equity, more cooperation, more coming together, more, I love what I've heard once said, a world that works for everyone, a world that works for everyone. Not leaving anyone out, not putting anyone down. We want a world that works for everyone. Why not begin to establish that in the energy through these clearings, through our conscious intentions? Now, we're asking here to clear any blocks and to activate reclaiming of divine freedom and anchoring in sovereign consciousness for all beings. Let's feel that begin to manifest within ourselves, within the collective. Now, this doesn't mean when we do this, people think about the old school of like, I'm going to pray to a being in the sky and it's going to answer me, maybe, and usually doesn't happen. And so we get frustrated with that. But we might got to remember that the clearing work that we're doing right now is establishing something, helping to reveal something in consciousness. Now, once it reveals in consciousness, based on how much we can stay with that consciousness individually and collectively, based on action steps that are taken as we feel more inspired, connected, plugged in, based on that shift, we can begin to manifest the changes in the world. It doesn't happen because of some external being who's withholding it, suddenly giving it to us. We are using a facilitation of energy. It's always available. That's the first thing I ever learned in Reiki training. That's part of my background. It's not exactly what I'm doing now, but Reiki is an unlimited supply of energy, and it never runs out, and you can work with it 24/7 and never even scratch the surface of what's possible because you're working with spiritual energy. It's an inexhaustible supply. We're asking to finish up this clearing spirit for us individually, clear anything that would contradict, limit, or block its manifestation, even immediately into the collective, making it easy for this new paradigm of greater harmony, greater cooperation, freedom from oppression, freedom from coercion and control to begin to manifest now. I'm going to now stop the clearing itself. I invite you to place your hands over your lower abdomen as a way to anchor, to ground, and to integrate. This is very important after any spiritually expansive activity, meditation, prayer, whatever it might be, certainly active energy situations like this, and bringing your attention and mind down to your lower abdomen. And this is a good time to express gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to each of you for watching this video. You have participated in something, even in just these 10 minutes, you have participated in something transformational and quickening to the consciousness of the collective. You can watch this video multiple times, begin to get more benefits. Please seek out here on my YouTube channel the other components of this series. I'm planning to go, where am I planning to go? I think I set up 10 clearings on this particular type of global service topic, but I'm really liking this work, and I might be finding more ways to incorporate it into future videos. If you'd like to be in touch with me, find out more about what I'm doing, or send me a note, you can first of all comment below this YouTube video, or you can click below. My website is clearandconnect.com, as I said before, and I offer weekly group clearings that you can sign up for from wherever you are in the world. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. They're done remotely, recorded, emailed to you to listen to at your convenience. They're much more in-depth and longer than these videos. There's over 400 past clearings that you can download immediately on a variety of topics: emotional healing, relationship, ascension, angels, manifestation, karma clearing, ancestral work, all of that. And I'm available for individual clearings should you desire that. Thanks, friends. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, peace and blessings.